It's Patrick Hutzel from intensivecare.hotline.com with another quick tip for families in intensive care. And today is probably a testimonial, if anything, of a client that we worked with recently. So the story went as follows, that one of our clients' father went into ICU after COVID pneumonia, ended up in ICU on a ventilator with initially not with a tracheostomy, just with a breathing tube. There was a complete whiteout on the chest X-ray, and as soon as the client's father was in ICU, the ICU was trying to push DNR, withdrawing treatment, saying that any treatment would be futile and that it's not, quote unquote, in the best interest of the patient to survive. So the family reached out to us, and I do remember first speaking to the daughter of the patient, and I remember she could not realize what I was saying. I don't think she believed with a single word that I was saying that I believe we could turn this situation around, and making sure that her dad gets best care and treatment to get him through this, and that ICUs have their own agendas. They want to free up beds as quickly as possible. They think that her father won't have any quality of life if he's going to survive that. And then I asked them explain to them how to remove the DNR. They did that. In case you are wondering how to remove a DNR, it's definitely possible. And then things went from bad to worse in terms of her father then ended up with a bowel perforation and needed emergency surgery. He then went into septic shock, and again the whole doom and gloom started all over again, saying, well, we shouldn't operate on this man, and it's not in his best interest, and if he does survive surgery, he won't have any quality of life. It'll take ages for him, to wake up and get out of ICU, if he ever makes it out of ICU. Again, the doom and gloom got worse. And again, we advised the family that if they wanted surgery, they should go for it. Of course, there are no guarantees, but one thing was for sure, with perforated bowels and septic shock, he would have passed away there and then if they had left it untreated. So then when he finally got out of the surgery and he slowly woke up, ICU was trying to push for a tracheostomy and then do a PEG and send him to LTAC as quickly as possible. And then again, we advised not to rush that and see whether this man could be extubated within sort of the day 10 to day 14 mark, so that he could avoid LTAC and go home, which was the sole wish of the family, was to go home. So the other thing, after the bowel perforation and they had to resect part of the bowels, he could not get any nasogastric feeds, and they were basically trying to withhold feeds until we again educated the family on the option of TPN, also known as total parenteral nutrition, also known as IV nutrition, intravenous nutrition. Again, ICU was telling the family that TPN would not be recommended because the patient could end up with an infection. Well, yes, he could end up with an infection, but in the meantime, he's not getting any nutrition. And if you're not getting any nutrition during a critical illness, you're basically starving someone to death. And there is enough research out there that no nutrition in ICU doesn't lead to good outcomes. So in the end, he had TPN. In the end, he did get extubated. They avoided the tracheostomy. And after many weeks in ICU, but also then on the hospital floor, he went home. It was a long battle, no question about it. But again, it all came down to that families in intensive care don't know what they don't know. They don't know what to look for. They don't know what questions to ask. Certainly, they don't know their rights, and they don't know how to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care. So, and again, also in this situation, once again, ICU teams don't even tell you half of the story. When the patient's daughter first contacted me, I know she didn't believe anything that I said, but I know we turned it all around for her. And I'm going to read out her email in a minute so you can see what she says, So that's the story in a nutshell. We have turned so many situations around in intensive care simply by telling families what to expect, what to do, what questions to ask. We are involved in the advocacy. We talk to doctors and nurses directly. We look at medical records, give a second opinion so that you and your family can turn things around. Okay, so this is the testimonial from the client. Hi, Patrick and team. I hope you're well. My father is doing as good as possible right now. The past weekend made 1 month since he's been home. We've changed his diet and medications back to whole foods and natural supplements. Thankfully, we have had no issues with the PEG tube so far. He's even started to eat and drink very small amounts of fruit and water when he feels up to it. He's currently receiving physical therapy, chiropractor, hyperbaric oxygen therapies. His mental status has improved slightly. We understand from all that are working with him that this will be a slow recovery, but there is hope. My family and myself cannot thank each of you enough for all the knowledge, guidance, and time you all gave us during the fight for his life. We are forever grateful. As always, thank you so much. Talk to you soon, from Melly. So thanks, Melly, for sharing that feedback with us. And I do believe it was your dad's fight for his life. It was your fight for your life, because I remember how, when you first called me, you were at such a low point. I know you didn't believe me initially that we could turn this around. And that's understandable. The ICU team gave you all the doom and gloom. They gave you all the negativity. I understand how daunting that can be. Anyway, you've made it through. Your dad is at home, which was your biggest wish at the time. We helped you with that, and that is such amazing news. Okay, now if you have a loved one in intensive care in a similar situation where you feel like there's no hope, there is always hope. You just need the right advice and the right guidance. So if you need help, go to intensivecarehotline.com, call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website, or simply send us an email to support@intensivecarehotline.com. Also, have a look at our membership for families in intensive care at intensivecaresupport.org. There you have access to me and my team 24 hours a day in the membership area and via email, and we answer all questions intensive care related. This client, Melly, was part of our membership, and she got great outcomes for that. Now, if you need a medical record review, please contact us as well. We review medical records in real time, so that you can have a second opinion in real time. And we also review medical records after intensive care if you have unanswered questions, if you need closure, or if you simply, suspecting medical negligence. Now, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families in intensive care. Click the like button. Click the notification bell, share the video with your friends and families, and comment below what you would like to see next and what questions and insights you have from this video. Thanks for watching. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Take care.